you have teased me with this right before we went on the air. You said, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? And I had not. And you told me, I said, wait a minute. I said, just tell me when we go on the air, because as you got a half a sentence out, I was like, wait, what? And apparently this is something that the cult members, it's been out there on social media, but many people have directed it your way on behalf of me. Yeah, enough of talking about you. Let's talk about me. What do you think of me? Has apparently Stain now, he's written a new book, or is this in one of his other, I put them in quotation marks, books that he's written, and it's just now come to light, which kind of makes sense because somebody would have had to have read it before now, which I don't think anyone has. But where is this?
That's exactly.
Where is this?
This is an old book. This is apparently is from Rope Opera, how WCW killed Vince Russo. And
oh, good
because
Lord.
No one paid attention, this somehow got overlooked. This is the chapter on bitch slap. Are you aware of bitch slap?
No, that's it. You said bitch slap, and you said, and he wrote his ideas down for, I said, stop. I said, stop it. Just tell me if you're going to tell me. I've never heard of this. Has anybody ever mentioned this before? Even to us, which normally I read some of his bad formats on the air, right? And this has never been part of our conversation.
I had never heard of bitch slap. Again, I had made fun of the book title. I don't own this book. Now I want a copy of it, but apparently it's out of print. I don't have this in my wrestling library. I'll read a little bit from here before we get to the descriptions, a little bit of the setup. Before I continue with Life After Wrestling, I'm going to backtrack for a second and tell you the story of a television project I pitched with Jeremy Borash following the crash and burn of WCW.
Oh, good Lord.
The show was called Bitch Slap, and the federation that surrounded it was Sports Entertainment Extreme. Yes, the same Sports Entertainment Extreme that was used by TNA less than a year later. For those of you that aren't putting it together, Sports Entertainment Extreme is extreme with an X, is sex.
Sex.
So the
do you think that he was one of the young adult men that believed that if you played with yourself, that your palms would grow hair and you would go blind until he was out of college?
You know, who knows at this point, but I think it's important once again to say the parent organization of Bitch Slap was sex. The brainchild of Borash and me was inspired by my teenage love for glow.
You know, I know Jeremy has some wild out there ideas, but I'm wondering if he's getting painted with this brush without his knowledge. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
The brainchild of Borash and me was inspired by my teenage love for Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, a show that was decades ahead of its time. Glow offered beautiful, sensuous, and sexy female wrestlers, with the exception of the 300-pound Mount Fuji.
Oh, for God's
He puts her down with hugely over-the-top characters such as the Farmer's Daughter, Lady Godiva, Tiffany Mellon, Tina Ferrari, the tag team of Hollywood and Vine, and Vicky Victory. You can only imagine the impact that this show would have on a 14-year-old just sliding into puberty.
Oh my God!
Wait a minute, he wasn't 14 when that went on the air.
Wait, what? No, Glow started in what, 1985 or 6?
Yeah. 86 maybe.
He's my age. He would have been 25 years old. God damn it. Vinny Roo. I figured out the store I could buy the fucking Hustlers in when I was 16. You were that for 9 years behind? You're watching tits and ass on fucking television?
He just named half the roster.
He was 25 years old. Glow did not exist until 1986.
Based on this general concept, JB and I were going to take women's wrestling into the 21st century. Inspired by the Attitude Era of Raw, we were going to launch these bodacious battling babes to a place they had never dared to venture before. And it was going to be crass, and there was going to be nudity. That's why JB and I pitched.
The problem was it was all boar ashes.
And it was going to be. Oh, I read that.
Him to keep his shorts on. Son of a bitch.
That's why JB and I pitched it to the execs at DirecTV as a weekly pay-per-view show long before TNA was presented to them in the very same format. To this day, just to entertain ourselves, we pull out the bitch slap pitch and read it aloud until tears of laughter begin to flow down Jeff Jarrett's face.
By the way, let me just say this also, that I'm sure that it was probably pitched before the idea of TNA being a weekly pay-per-view was pitched, and I'm sure that many bad ideas were also pitched with the same idea of weekly television or pay-per-view that people said, no. Are you out of your fucking mind? Let's hear this.
Well, it says here in parentheses, God forgive me, I wrote this before I was saved.
Oh, fuck.
But it's too funny not to share.
Oh, God.
Well, here's some of the roster, Jim, the descriptions.
I'm not allowed to be funny anymore because I'm a Christian, but look, when I thought I was funny, here's what I did.
Toxic shock. Many of the superstars of Bitch Slap wrestle with no strings attached. However, this is not the case with the very volatile Toxic Shock.
Wait. Oh, my God. I don't know how many people today understand that, but that's one of the grossest, most offensive things I've ever heard already.
What?
Brad, do you get that?
What am I missing? I'm just reading it quickly. What am I missing?
Okay, when would this have been written?
This would have been around the time of the formation of TNA, maybe shortly before, 2001, 2002.
Okay, well, it may have even been old news then, but there was a period of time where it was in the news that a number of women did, or they thought that a number of women had, or whatever, contracted toxic shock syndrome, like whatever. Remember when that was a thing? Wasn't that
Mike Von Erich?
Mike Von Erich.
Yeah.
The infection, toxic shock syndrome from a bad infection, blah, 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 from their tampons. From the tampons. Now go back and read that fucking blurb he just wrote.
Well, now that I know that, it gets better from there.
No, go back and read it again now that everybody knows it.
Many of the superstars of Bitch Slap wrestle with no strings attached. However, this is not the case with the very volatile Toxic Shock. Like a dog in heat, this stuck-up, temperamental temptress uses the pads of the Bitch Slap ring to the max. While she tends to turn men off with her moody demands, she claims she can make gay men menstruate. Always craving chocolate, she rides her own cycle as she shows up to wrestle once a month. So here's
the thing is, we're not laughing at the material. And I think that's what he failed to recognize when Jeff Jarrett would bring it out. You're laughing that a grown adult man would put that on paper and admit to being the author and put it in his fucking book and tell God it was too funny to share.
I thought someone would buy this. He thought someone was going to say, you know what? You're onto something. Let's do it.
At this point, he is a married man in his 40s and authoring shit like this. Keep going.
You know what's interesting? Toxic Shock rides her own cycle. She only wrestles once a month. She only wrestles on her period?
Apparently, it doesn't have to fucking use a blade.
Well, Jim, what about homeless Heather?
Oh.
Nice box, commented a young boy to his loving father as they walked by homeless Heather's place of residence on the sidewalk just outside the Bitch Slap Arena.
Oh, now he's getting fucking wrestling gimmicks from bad Playboy cartoons.
And it really is like Glow, just everything's happening in that little universe.
Yes.
The only Bitch Slap competitor who wrestles for food. Homeless Heather is the she-god of the shelter. Not only does she compete in the Bitch Slap rings, but Heather also serves as cleanup crew as she wheels her shopping cart around the arena in search of aluminum cans during the show. Burning her bra for heat, in the twilight of the September sky, homeless Heather hits the soup kitchen before dusk. A riot around the ladle. Heather is loved by her fellow bums, but it's no laughing matter when she steps into the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to keep in mind that he presented this in written form to executives for a broadcasting company, DirecTV, with the idea that people would pay to see a show revolving around these characters.
And Jeremy Borash was so down on his luck, he said, "Hey, can I come?"
And Jeremy's very agreeable. He'll do anything with anybody. But again, I hesitate whether to paint poor Jeremy, who apparently is still gainfully employed in the wrestling business somewhere behind the scenes, to ascribe this to him. But go ahead. He may have just been sitting there nodding, going, hey, there you go.
Here's one for you. Kentucky Love with Papa Woody. Get your raincoats, kids. Kentucky rain is falling. To say things are a little different in the Kentucky foothills is an understatement. Kentucky Love, a bluegrass, bosomy, bodacious bimbette, is the envy of every father's eye. Every farmer's eye.
Well, it could have gone either way with who we're talking about.
However, for Kentucky Love, there won't be any sowing wild oats. With shotgun in hand, Kentucky's father, Papa Woody, holds a very special place when it comes to his divine daughter. You see, Kentucky Love is Papa Woody's forbidden fruit.
Oh.
However, though she attempts to keep her fondling father in line, Woody is hell-bent on bobbing for his daughter's apple.
What is the matter with him? How was he treated as a child? What is what is his relationship with sexuality?
It definitely is some repressed thing.
And
right?
I'm seeing Papa Woody as Denver Pyle. And that's the most disgusting visual that you can possibly have. And Denver Pyle is fondling Donna Douglas. And then it's all over the place when he makes these fucking...
Well, it sounds like Papa Woody's a manager. We have a tag team next. Jim, Blackbeard and Treasure Chest, the Ass Pirates.
Wait a minute. Can you be a female ass pirate?
Well, we're going to find out. Ahoy, matey! Like the swashbucklers of the Caribbean, Blackbeard and Treasure Chest, the Ass Pirates, have buccaneered their way to the seats of Bitch Slap. Sword fighting, a specialty. That's the way it's written. Sword fighting, a specialty. The Ass Pirates force their opponents to walk the plank.
Wait, hold on. I think he's reading the wrong fetish material. So far, this is a male tag team.
Well, no, it's a female tag team that are actually
sword
pirates.
Fighting?
Well, sword fighting.
Ass pirates?
Well, I guess. Well, maybe they forced.
No, not maybe. I mean, what is it? He's not sure. He wandered into the wrong aisle in Adult World.
Well,
and he made the wrong notes.
Through their revealing denim shorts, the Ass Pirates.
I'm still not wrong.
The Ass Pirates invite rump wrangling to those seamen who lust after them.
God damn it!
Action heroes to the preteen audience. The preteen audience!
Fuck! Jesus Christ! I wouldn't put this on television for the adult audience. God damn it!
You know, much like Jeff Jarrett, I have tears coming down my face right now.
What is it? Is it again? He means this.
Action heroes to the preteen audience.
And also, this is still an intergender tag team situation because these two are guys.
Blackbeard and Treasure Chest are among the 10 most wanted in every elementary school in America. No, not for prematurely causing cannons to fire, but rather leaving blue balls behind.
What in the world? Is it? He doesn't even know which segment of the children he's trying to corrupt here.
Another character is Birdie Hole for One, a PGA legend. Birdie Hole for One claims she doesn't need wood to win in the rings of bitch slap. Nicknamed Butch by her fellow competitors and sporting a rock-solid 28, 24, 36 figure. Birdie's sexual preference has been in question since the day she refused to stroll through Tiger's woods. Handicapped by a mean streak, male officials of bitch slap beware. Keep your balls away from Birdie Hole for One. 4!
Can anybody now, if there's ever been any doubt, understand the level of juvenility and banality and anality and fucking insufferable douchebaggishness?
Maybe you're prejudging this. We're not even done.
No, this is what I had to endure. Not this specific shit, but this overall shit is what you have to endure around this fucking ignorant cretin. The level of 8-year-old fucking nonsense.
Well, Jim, much like the British Bulldogs had Matilda, here's one. Beasty Alley with her little dog Scrote. Wanted by the Humane Society in 48 states. Apparently it's legal in North and South Dakota. Beasty Alley and her little dog Scrote have brought their act to bitch slap. Posted on Alpo cans across America, Beasty Alley brings new meaning to the term puppy love. With his eyes not the only thing bulging, let's not forget that Scrote is the innocent victim being held against his will.
With his eyes not the only thing bulging, the dog who's looking at the girl, but well, with old Beasty Alley, could we find out that maybe the dog's eyes were bulging for another reason?
Well, Jim, let me finish this. But Beastie beware, every dog has its day, and it may be only a matter of time before Rover takes over. So you're promising the people at DirecTV that a dog's gonna fuck a woman in a wrestling ring?
I'm telling you, you've never seen anything like it. The woman's gonna bend over, and the dog is gonna walk on its hind legs, and it's got a giant throbbing, and it's gonna fuck the girl, and her eyes are gonna bug out, and we're gonna sing the song Rover Takes Over on your air.
What about the tag team of Moose Knuckle and Cameltoe?
Oh, and you know, he's already done that. He did that on TNA. Remember Mickey Knuckles? The outlaw indie mud show girl wrestler became Moose Knuckles.
Well, here, they came from two different worlds. From the mountains of the Ozark, Moose Knuckle is a bosomy lumberjack who wields a wicked axe, while Cameltoe is a highly ranked officer in the Iranian National Army. Together, this unlikely duo has wrought havoc among the ranks of bitch slap, but there is a problem. After a night of passion with a crew of young, innocent American sailors, both Moose Knuckle and Cameltoe have suffered a social disease which has disfigured their most intimate of areas. At press time, Moose Knuckle and Cameltoe are in search of the cure, and their quest to finding it, they will take no prisoners. So they have.
So they're gonna beat up other girl wrestlers until somebody spills the secret of how to cure a swollen pussy?
It appears that is what that tag team of Moose Knuckle and Cameltoe will be doing, yes.
He showed this to people. He didn't just get drunk and do this and then the next day wake up and burn it before anybody in his family saw it. He's admitting to this in public. What is this? What religious people think of their wives or girlfriends or women in their lives? How would this
He wasn't religious. He had to find the religion after releasing something like this.
Oh, Christ. He needed to find a goddamn psychiatrist or a hooker, one or the other. Has he been laid now? Did they Were his children immaculate receptions? I'm wondering if he's ever been laid at this point. What is his deal with the goddamn I don't understand which group would protest this first on basis of what racism or what sexism or what anti-ism.
Well, we have another.
I've got to go ahead.
We have another tag team, Jim. MBP, missing body parts, Stumpy and Gimpy.
Oh, God.
Park in their space and you better be ready for both a fine and a fight. Stumpy and Gimpy, collectively known as MBP, are two handicapped heroines who have learned to use their disabilities to their advantage. Walking tall and carrying her wooden leg, Gimpy will literally stick one foot in her mouth while inserting her wooden peg up your ass.
Oh, for God's sake.
Stumpy sometimes...
God damn it, I saw that on a German video one time. I can't believe he saw the same thing.
Stumpy, sometimes referred to as the one-armed bandit, has one of the most devastating combinations in the business today. When she hits you with a right, and then a right, and then another right, you will most likely be down for the count. Can you lose to a one-legged woman in an ass-kicking contest? You may, if you are in the ring with MBP. How do you think that works as a good tag team?
I'm sure there's some type of social organization that could boycott him for that. Well, I'm just not sure which one applies.
We have a couple more profiles here. Nurse Hershey with Dr. Proctor.
Oh,
bend over.
He's stealing from Boyd Pierce. Dr. Proctor's Red Rectum Rockers.
Well, bend over and say, ah! The team physician of Bitch Slap, Dr. Proctor, is known to be a real ass man within the locker room. Assisted by the lovely Nurse Hershey, Dr. Proctor feels his way around the superstars, assuring that each and every one of them has a clean bill of health. Anally retentive, the popular Dr. Proctor has become so overbooked that the robust Nurse Hershey has been forced to increase her role. Now the physician to the male management team of Bitch Slap, Nurse Hershey lets her fingers do the walking while her rectal thermometer does the talking. Ouch!
but wait again, because if Dr. Proctor is a guy, then what? He's not even wrestling. He's just going around sticking his finger up these girls' asses.
Well, it sounds like we may have a Sunshine Jimmy Garvin situation. She's Nurse Hershey's starting to interact with other men on the roster, or not on the roster, I guess.
Well, who gets to stick what up her, or what is she sticking up who is being penetrated, and who are the penetrators?
Ooh. In
all of these scenarios that he's putting things up people's asses. So we can't analyze him properly. I'm talking about the author himself, unless we understand what his fantasies entail. Is he pitching or catching or neutral, or who the fuck is penetrating who here with what?
Well, Jim, there's Grandma Gas.
Oh, good Lord.
Constantly blowing her own horn.
I bet she is.
It's a methane madness, or it is methane mad or methane madness.
It's methane.
I'm thinking of Mr. Methane, who used to be on Howard Stern. It is methane madness when Grandma Gas steps into the ring at Bitch Slap.
Smells like rotten eggs.
Fueled by a flatulent fanny, this Queen of Brown Wind uses her deadly gas to gag her opponent into submission, leaving revenge on their minds and skid marks on their bodies. Riding a Geritol high, this walking wind tunnel will catch you off guard with her finishing maneuver, the colon-cleansing ass blast. She depends on it.
Oh, God.
And then it says here,
who's going to play these parts? If DirecTV had been on some type of LSD trip that day and said, you know what, that's a good idea.
The rest of the
How would he have done this?
The rest of the Bitch Slap roster were filled out with various other superstars such as Terry Springer, Britney Shears, Fleminem, Yenta the Jewish American Princess, Lorena Choppett, Jenny Knockersville, and Q Cumba. Amy is going to kill me for including this. But I think it's relevant when laying out my journey.
And I would think divorce proceedings would be more apropos than actual homicide. But hey, if she wants to put her whole heart and soul into it, I wouldn't argue with either.
This is embarrassingly bad, and that really is it there, Jim. Bitch slap.
He put that in a book. I learned from Jerry Jarrett, Bill Watson, Dusty Rhodes. He learned from fucking Glow when he was 25. Is there any more doubt in anybody's mind how that me and him was ever destined to go?
I love that all these years later, we're still discovering some of his bad ideas from 20 to 30 years ago.
Well, you know what? If he wants to hide everything bad he's done, write a fucking book about it. And that way, nobody will ever know. Because I believe that book has been out for some time, and this is the first time that's been brought to our attention.
Well, once again, brought to you by the company Sex, Bitch Slap, coming soon to DirecTV every week.
You know what the problem is? The problem is that ideas like that can be pitched and to people in places of import, and there's nothing they can do. They don't know that these people are out of their minds until they walk into the office. But now I'll tell you what, if they had a chance to call around, Brian, and ask, hey, I got somebody wanting to meet me named Vince Russo. Is he a fucking lunatic? Yeah, okay. They could turn the meeting down. But see, not enough important people have this brand new thing they've got going on. It's called a wireless network. And it's hooked up to your phone in your pocket. And while many people charge a fortune for these brand new thingamabobs called wireless networks and phones in your pocket, our friends at Mint Mobile only charge you $15 a month. You remember me telling you about this a few days ago?
That is correct, yeah.
Unlimited talk, text, and data for $15 a month. That means you can call people unlimited amounts of time, and they have to talk to you. And they got to talk to you unlimitedly as long as you want to talk. And the same thing with when you text somebody, they're forced to text you back because it's unlimited. And data, you can call the people at Mint Mobile and ask them question after question, and they've got to answer you because they have to give you unlimited data, all for this $15 a month plan when you purchase the 3-month plan. How many questions have you asked Mint Mobile this week?
I'm asking you the questions, and I'm asking them questions to clarify whatever it is that you've been saying for the last week.
Well, it says you've got unlimited talk, text, and data. That means that you can do that just willy-nilly, as free as you want for $15 a month. You need all the data you need, you get it for $15 a month. They'll answer all your questions, give you all the information.
So there you go. You answered your own question from earlier about how homeless people can get cell phones.
Well, but how are they going to get $15 a month? You ought to be able to if you can afford $15 a month, you ought to be able to afford a small 1-bedroom fixer-upper.
$15 a month?
Well, I guess with inflation, it might be $25. Nevertheless,
you can get unlimited text and
well, we didn't know Mint Mobile was a thing because most of these phone plans they charge a fortune. It's hundreds and tens of hundreds of dollars a month. But Mint Mobile, well, they're revolutionary because they're charging $15 a month when you sign up for 3 months. So they've got no overpriced wireless plan, jaw-dropping monthly bills, unexpected overages. There's no, hidden charges here. They give you the unlimited talk and text, the high-speed data. They tell you the answer to your question right away. And it's the largest 5G network in the nation. What is 5G, you might ask? I'll get back to you. And you can use your own phone. You don't have to go take somebody else's that already has a Mint Mobile phone, and you can just use it with your own. And you can bring your phone number. So if it's written on the proper bathroom walls, you don't need to go back and update the number.
No, that just means you could take the number you're already using with you Does it have anything to do with where it's written or how it's written?
Well, if you've got it out there, if it's part of your business, you want it to be known, you don't have to change it. You can keep the same one. That way you won't miss any important calls when you're sitting out there homeless on a sidewalk.
That would have helped our buddy 50 Steve.
Well, there you go. But then again, now that they've learned that much easier to say 50 Steve, 877-50 Steve, instead of all numbers, well, it's entered into a whole new realm of ease of remembrance.
But what a great deal Mint Mobile offers our listeners.
I was about to say, what commercial are we on? So anyway, folks, right now, don't get screwed around on these high-priced big wireless bills for all of these hoity-toity little brand new science fiction type of wireless phones they've got in everybody's pockets these days that the young folks use. It's only $15 a month with Mint Mobile. And right now, you just go to Mint Mobile, M-I-N-T, mobile, like Mobile, Alabama, .com/JCE, mintmobile.com/JCE, and cut your wireless bill to $15 a month. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions may apply, but don't they always? See Mint Mobile for details.